Buckle up, Hyperdrivers, because today we're driving straight into the belly of the beast. Literally. Regal Robot is dropping something truly epic, a brand new scaled replica of the Space Slug from Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Pre-orders go live tomorrow, October 28th, as a timed release. So you've got exactly 1 week to make it happen before this thing disappears back into the asteroid field. Now, Regal Robot did give us a Space Slug desk organizer a while back. You know, the one that eats pens instead of the Millennium Falcon. But this new release is on another level. It's the first ever Space Slug created using actual scans from the original puppet from the Lucasfilm archives. And for a creature that got 5 seconds of screen time, the Space Slug has fascinated me ever since I was a kid. So today we're gonna take a closer look at this new collectible and see if it truly captures the glory of everyone's favorite space-dwelling giant slug.
Go strap yourselves in, I'm gonna make a jump to light speed.
So like I said in the intro, the Space Slug, officially known as the Exogorth, is one of those creatures in Star Wars that barely got any screen time but left us with a ton of questions. Like, where did it come from? How do Minox live inside of it? And how does something that big end up inside of an asteroid? Well, Hyperdrivers and would-be Star Wars scholars, today I have at least some of those answers. As it turns out, these massive beings are sentient and could live billions of years. They actually take pride in the little ecosystems that thrive inside of their bodies, and those having more diverse ecosystems are considered highly respectable. It's kind of wholesome, really. It almost makes me forget it tried to eat my beloved Millennium Falcon. But that just leaves me with even more questions, like do they get together and go inside each other's mouths to inspect? That just seems very unhygienic. But I digress. The one that we saw in The Empire Strikes Back is named Sio, and it was the first appearance of the species in Star Wars lore. But during filming, it was just called the Space Slug because that's what it was. The name Exogorth didn't come about until nearly 27 years later in the Knights of the Old Republic comic series, issue 18, that came out in 2007. The concept for the creature came from artists Ralph McQuarrie and Nilo Rodis Jamero based on George Lucas' script, but it was the legendary Phil Tippett who brought it to life. The puppet itself was nearly 3 feet long, with Doug Beswick creating the mechanics inside of the massive beast and Phil operating the puppet. For the shots with the Millennium Falcon flying out of the mouth, Lauren Peterson created a 4.5-foot model of the jaws. Incredible work from the ILM team for sure, but with all of that, George Lucas didn't even like the scene. He felt that it was one of those things that should have just been left on paper. As for me, I think it's awesome. It's weird, wonderful, and peak Star Wars for sure. And of course, if you knew any of that information off the top of your head, congratulations, you're officially not getting laid. All right, let's get this thing out of the box and see what it looks like. All right, so this is the foam that mine came in, and you're gonna get it in something like this. This is obviously the slug, and then we got the base elements right here and some stuff over here. So I gotta check out this slug. Oh man, I know this thing's made out of fiberglass, but damn, this is heavy. Oh my God, this looks so cool. Wow, look at the size of this thing. Jesus. And this is 60% of the original size of the puppet, which by the way, if this is not big enough for you, Regal Robot is also making a 1-to-1 scale identical looking replica to the original puppet from Empire Strikes Back.
What?
Yep, so if you want to have that in your collection, those crazy guys are doing that too.
Those are some magical guys.
But I'll talk more about that later. Let's get back to this. Wow, this thing is awesome. Oh, this is heavy. Wow. This weighs even more than the slug. This is the base. Oh. It looks just like the asteroid surface. And there's a key here, which I'm sure that's where the slug keys into. And then on the bottom, it looks like that. Man, this is nice. This looks so good. And look, there's a little wee Millennium Falcon. This is now officially the smallest Millennium Falcon in my collection. You get a couple of eyes. And it comes with a numbered plaque. This one is the AP. All right, let's get this thing together. Oh man, this thing is freaking cool. Wow. All right, let's talk about the statue itself because this thing is a beast. It's a mixed media piece with the Slug made from fiberglass and the base a solid resin. The combo gives it a serious heft. It feels like premium the moment you pick it up. Definitely one of those collectibles that command space on your shelf. Now size-wise, it stands about 15.5 inches tall, 12 inches wide, and about 12 inches deep. So it might be called a scaled replica, but small is not the word I'd use here. This thing has presence. The base is sculpted to look like the asteroid surface from The Empire Strikes Back, and it looks fantastic. The texture sells it. There's cracks, uneven stonework, different size rocks. It's got that dusty brown tone that really nails the look of the original scene. It's detailed enough to set the stage, but subtle enough to let the Slug take center stage just like it should be. And speaking of the Slug, this thing is incredible. Regal Robot absolutely nailed the moment where the creature lunges out, jaws open, trying to catch the Millennium Falcon as it tries to escape. It's dynamic, it's cinematic. It looks like someone froze framed the movie and turned it into a collectible. Huge shout out to Christian Maggi for the digital scan cleanup, Max Fry for the master paint, and of course the entire Regal Robot team for getting those Lucasfilm reference scans, because honestly, this thing looks like it was pulled straight out of the film. The texture work is unreal. The skin has that rough, leathery look, kind of like a mix between a rhino and an elephant. You've got folds, wrinkles, dimples. It's loaded with detail that makes it feel alive. The overall color is a cool light gray, but when you get closer, you can see hints of pink inside of the creases and folds. It's subtle, but it gives the skin a really natural, organic look. Then you got the mouth, filled with rows of dirty, jagged teeth painted in browns and ivory tones with tons of texture along the roof and tongue. It's gross, it's awesome, it's perfect. And to top it all off, you got the Millennium Falcon blasting out of the Slug's mouth, supported by this metal rod that slots into a small hole between the teeth at the lower part of the mouth. Just be careful during assembly because this is kind of delicate. You don't want to take and break it. There's a small hole in a very thin rod. You can risk bending if you apply too much force. Once it's in though, it's amazing. From a few feet away, the rod practically disappears, making it look like the Falcon is floating mid-escape. It's such a cool visual touch and really brings the whole piece to life. Man, this thing is awesome. One of the coolest pieces I've seen in a while. I mean, the team at Regal Robot really outdid themselves with this one. I really can't believe how big it is. I expected it to be a little smaller, you know, when they said 60% scaled, but this is a really, really great size. But like I said earlier, if what you're looking for is a 1-to-1 scale replica of the puppet used in Empire Strikes Back of the Space Slug, Regal Robot is making that as well. Now that one is almost 3 feet long. It's guaranteed to command presence in your collection, but you're gonna need a lot of space to be able to display that thing. It comes with 2 signatures. You get that with Phil Tippett and with Doug Beswick that come along with it, so that's awesome. And they're only making 100 of them, so it's highly, highly limited. Now that one's gonna run $1,899. As for me though, this is the perfect scale and size for my collection room. It's got all of the detail I like. It's got a dynamic feel to it with the Millennium Falcon flying out, and it looks like it was just pulled directly out of that scene from Empire Strikes Back. So this thing is killer. I love how this came out. Regal Robot did a fantastic job on it. Thank you, team, for making this. Really great work. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about the Space Slug. Let me know if you're gonna pick it up tomorrow in the comments below as well. And until next time, may the Force be with you.